Hi everybody, this is Richard Broudy and I'm one of the founders of Killer Small Business Systems. We help people who are starting a business or who are a few years down the road, and we help them build systems in their businesses. Today I'm going to talk about how a lack of business systems will cause an owner to become the bottleneck in his or her own business and give a solution or two on how to fix that. So here we go. Here's a letter that I received about this topic. Dear Richard, my business grew steadily to about 1.3 million, and then things got weird. When I tried to keep growing, my business would increase somewhat, but then fall back to around that $1.3 million level. This happened a couple of times. The market is out there, but there just seems to be too much for me to handle when the business gets bigger. Am I stuck here forever? Signed, Josh. Dear Josh, repeatedly growing and then slipping back is a sign that you're too personally involved in one or more of your business's key operations. It means that at some point, around 1.3 million in your case, there begin to be too many balls for you to juggle and not enough hours in the day. So the business and you automatically adjust back down to where you can handle everything and the balls are manageable, but then you feel stuck. Let's suppose Marcel owns a store that depends on him for one or more key day-to-day functions, and he's currently working about 50 hours a week. Then he opens a second store across town that also depends on him in the same ways. What's going to happen? Well, Marcel will pull it off for a while, running between the stores and working more hours. But he'll be killing himself, and the performance at both stores will suffer. After a few months of this, Marcel will throw in the towel, shut the second store, and go back to a one-store operation. Bottom line, your business is too dependent on you for day-to-day operations, and you're the reason that the growth can't happen. Up to about $1 million in revenue, an owner-dependent business can usually get along on the owner's pure drive and intelligence and energy. Things can be managed in your head, and you can keep an eye on everything yourself. Beyond $1 million, though, the world often changes. The owner must transform from being not only an expert operations and technical person to being a true business manager. And this requires a completely different set of skills that most owners didn't have a chance to develop. Effective owners need skills like delegation, monitoring and control, strategic thinking and planning, systems development, role modeling, human resource techniques, communications, and financial management. And owners didn't just pick up their technical expertise by chance, and they won't develop these management skills without some conscious effort and practice either. The good news is that they're no harder to learn than the skills most owners already have. They're just different. Once Marcel creates a standalone business that runs on systems and delegates operational tasks to employees so it doesn't depend on him for day-to-day operations, the limit to growth is gone. The second store and the third and the fourth and the fifth are relatively easy to establish. It doesn't mean that growth doesn't require effort, but it means that the stone wall that made growth impossible is gone. In the beginning, owners make a transition from working for other people to working for themselves. Problem is, they often build a business that depends on them for day-to-day operations. And when their business reaches a certain level, and if they've built it to depend on them for some key operational functions, a second transition has to happen. The business has to become dependent on systems and processes rather than the owner, and most or all of the day-to-day tasks have to be delegated to employees. The good news is that by creating a systems-based business, not only does it remove the owner as the bottleneck to growth, it also makes the business a lot easier to run and a lot more productive and profitable. I'll see you in the next